Hi everyone, Exeter Rider, thanks for joining me once again. Now this week is my full review of the 2022 Honda Cub C125. So here it is the iconic Honda Super Cub, and with the 2022 we now gain a pillion seat and a new colour scheme, which is in this graphite look here, which I'm sure you agree, it does look really good in the graphite finish. We still have the 17-inch wheels on the front and on the rear as well, so that glides over the bump quite nicely, and it's a very narrow profile down there. LED lights all the way around. Still a good looking bike. What we have is if you push down on that gear shifter there, then it will go up a gear, and if you push back on it, it will go down a gear. Takes a lot of getting used to. I've put about 50 miles on this bike so far, and I'm still getting used to it. But it is actually a nice refreshing change. And again, it's what makes the Super Cub a Super Cub. Looks pretty cool from the back, you know, pretty retro. I like that. Backlight looks really good. All LED lights all the way around, indicators, headlight and tail light. And we still have the drum brake on the back as well. So, and I love that little HM sign there, Honda Motors. That's a great little badge to have, isn't it? This one still has the keyless ignition, so I've got the key in my pocket, and basically, and it's got an alarm on it as well. So that locks the bars. You turn it that way to engage the ignition, and then that way to be able to turn it on and get the bike going. Gear indicator there. Pop it off the centre stand. It's a very, very light bike, almost feels like a bicycle weight really. So as I say, no clutch. So we pull away like so, and all I do, off the throttle, push down on there, and we're in second gear. Up into third, and up into fourth, like so. So again, as it is a Honda, it is very, very easy to ride. So it's very, very cheap to run. It's £20 tax per year, and with it being a 125, obviously it's going to be very cheap to insure as well. So yeah, I mean, I don't think biking gets cheaper than one of these, a Honda Super Cub, and it's only £3,800 to buy as well, brand new. So let's not forget that Honda do tend to make bikes that last forever. So in this review, I'm going to take you for a walk around of the bike a bit later on, and we'll go out on the dual carriageway, maybe motorway in this case, and out in the country lanes, which, to be honest, we've already pretty much done there, haven't we? So, you know, as a lane explorer, it's pretty damn good. It's really, really good. And you haven't got the clutch to worry about all the time. It's surprising because with scooters, they can get a little bit bland when you haven't got anything to do, when you're just riding the bike. You know, you always feel like you want to change gear. This has got that perfect middle road, really, because you've got the gears to change, but there's no clutch. So it's ideal, really. So there we go. We changed down to the gears, down into first gear, and that's it. It's ready to, if I just twist the throttle, it's ready to go. It's not a particularly quick 125. It is, at the end of the day, it is designed for, you know, going around town and things like that. We are going to go just to the next junction on the M5 now, just to see what the top speed is. So again, with it being a 125, it can be quite intimidating if you're a new rider going on the motorways. Of course, you have to have a full license to do what I'm doing here. I'm just here to show you that even though it's a 125, it still can be done quite comfortably as well. We're just going to find a car that's doing around, or lorry that's doing around 57 miles an hour, and just stay on the inside lane. So I'm fully pinned now. It's a 4-speed bike, so I'm in 4th gear because it says there. And because of the big tyres, unlike the Monkey, which gets a little bit twitchy at higher speed, this is holding its ground very, very nicely with its 17-inch wheels. So I've got no rev counter, but I am doing 62 miles per hour. Vibrations are coming through the seat slightly and a little bit on the handlebars, but next to nothing on the pegs, ironically. I would have thought that would have been the other way around. But obviously, normally you wouldn't be going on the motorway with this, you know, it is morely a town bike. But I just want to preview that, show you that it can be done if you really need to. Junction to junction. Right, let's cross over now and do a bit of town riding. Well then guys, so in traffic, obviously that's one of its main habitats really for these bikes. So what we're going to do, I'm going to get on the outside lane in a minute. He's let me in, lovely jubbly. So very nimble, as you'd expect, and those 17-inch wheels tend to be quite responsive, all things considered. It is a very light bike as well, so if you're not very confident filtering, then this might be a good choice for you to learn your craft. Now, power-wise, there's not a huge amount there. Obviously, it's a 125, but it is quite a lazy rider 125 as well. So it does like to take its time a bit. So you have to take that into account. I really like the way that they've kept the style and traditional and the design of the bike. Even down to the rear brake pedal is all as it was many, many years ago, but obviously updated with LED indicators and the black graphite finish. The nice badge here, the Honda Motors badge, which is a great thing that they're doing now with some of the other bikes, such as the Monkey bike. We've got a drum brake on the back, which is you know, quite effective, and it's just a typical drum brake if you've used one before. You don't get the initial bite that you get with a disc brake, but they're still perfectly adequate and very good. And changing the pads, they seem to last forever, so no worries there. The 2022 model does come with a pillion seat, which is fantastic. That's really good, because I think that was one of the things that was lacking from the 2018 model when they released that. So brilliant that it's now got the capability to carry somebody else as well as the rider. For people with caravans or motorhomes, don't look any further. I think this is a very good bike for them because it is so light. You know, it's a very light bike to load on and off into the garage on your motorhome. We also have the enclosed chain as well, which is a nice thing to have. And again, it's something that the Cubs have always had and well known for. I have found this bike to put you in a state of zen when you're riding it. It is very much a steady, slow, lazy rider. You know, it's not the sort of bike which gets you around really fast. And I like that, I really like that, because you do tend to look around a bit more and notice things that you wouldn't do normally. Yes, it hasn't got a lot of power for motorway speeds or dual carriageway. In fact, I'd even say I probably wouldn't really want to take this on the motorway or dual carriageway, because it just loses what this bike is all about. You know, it's better on the back roads or in the country lanes. When you've got an afternoon free, you know, just go out on this and enjoy the scenery. To get to the fuel filler, we just turn it like so, push that like that, and your fuel cap is on top there. So simple as that. And we also have a toolkit in the side, which just opens out like so, and you have all the tools that you may need should anything happen. Bike does come with an alarm as well, so yeah, that's good peace of mind. So if you're going into town, then it will make a sound, not particularly loud sound, but enough to deter anyone from taking your bike. It's a 125cc single cylinder engine that shares the same engine as the Grom and the Honda Monkey. and it produces 9.7 horsepower at 7,500 RPM. And the torque figure is coming back as a respectable 10.4 Newton meters when you're at 6,250 RPM. And the bike only weighs 109 kilograms as well, so very light. Fuel consumption is stated at 1.5 litres every 60 miles or so. We have front telescopic forks. We have 17-inch wheels on the front and on the rear, which tend to soak up the bumps quite nicely in the road, and also quite decent suspension on the front and not bad either on the back. Seat comfort is okay. It's a 780mm seat height. Just take it off the stand there. And I'm 5'8". I've got a 30-inch inside leg measurement. And as you can see, it's very easy to just get my feet down. Really light as well, feather light. I mean, I'd even say that this kind of feels like a bicycle, really, with an engine. You can really see how Honda started making these bikes, and that's if you know the story, then it's quite an interesting story how he wanted to add an engine one day to his push bike. So, and here we are all these years later, still with a very good, solid bike in its 125 format. The people that say that these bikes should have CVT, I think that's totally wrong. I think they should leave it as it is. That is what makes the Honda Cub the Honda Cub. So you've got to, you know, put that into the pot really. If this bike had a CVT belt drive, then it would end up being a scooter, and this is nothing like a scooter. It really is in its own entity. So leave it as is, Honda. I think it's great that you're still rolling out these bikes, whether it's the Honda Monkey, the Goldwing, or the Honda Super Cub. I think it's brilliant that we still got them and they are still being sold. So thanks to Honda for lending me the bike. If you could hit subscribe, that'd be great, because I've got more stuff coming up on these bikes. And like the video as well, would be a big help to me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.